Hello everybody, it's February 27th of 2024 and it's a few days later after I did the last video on this whole 7J here, 1671W. And as you can see, there's a little white background behind me and there's a little bit of white on the machine here, so it's going to be a little bit cooler, but at least it's sunny. I left off the last video just getting the pony to spin over, but I didn't really get into why it's not starting. So that's what it's all about today. We've got to find out what's going on with that and get this beast started. Might as well start with the gas problem. I'm sure we got a gas problem. We'll open up the petcock there and see what comes out of our little fuel line there. Okay, I think we can see and hear a little bit of a stream. So we do have gas flow, but that is not adequate. So we're going to start with that. We will get into the sediment bowl and see what's going on there so we can get some gas to this carburetor. I took the sediment bowl off, which is actually not a sediment bowl. It comprises of this steel tube, piece of pipe is what it is. In between the valve and the pipe was a gasket. I had to remake this here particular gasket to seal. It's made of the cork. And then I had to make another full dish gasket. The old one over here, new one over here. So that's going to seal the open end. And to make up the difference is two toonies. See, yeah, two toonies and a loonie. So that's $5 put in amongst this here. I don't know what a real glass replacement's going to be. Probably $25, a wild guess. But that's a economical fix as far as I'm concerned. That's what was in there. That's what's going back. Okay, we got that assembled back together. And I'll open up the fuel valve and see what we got for improvement. Marginal, a little bit, not a heck of a lot. But it should be adequate to start this machine. What I had, I took that rubber hose off as well, but there was a cocoon of some mud, some bug, some moth or something or other. I built a nest in there and cocooned himself off and flew off as a butterfly probably. But at least everything is clear, and that's about as big of a stream as we get, but maybe with a full tank of gas would be better. Got those bolts off. There's two bolts that come off that little jet. Pretty nice. There's our bowl. So we'll take that into the house and open it up, see what we got in there. Probably more cocoon stuff, because this here fitting, wherever it is here, was left open. It was covered, but it was open, so bugs probably flew in there as well. All right, let's see what we got here. We'll open up this carburetor. Been redone. I had it done a couple years ago. Cleaned it right out, and the pony did run the way it was, so can't be too bad. But I know I had gas going on it like a few days ago, and there's no gas in here. So I'm thinking that there's definitely something plugged. The inlet fitting is clear. So we'll just go ahead and get our screws off. They got a mismatch of screws to attach the lid here. Got a broken gasket. That was a homemade gasket. I think I might have a new gasket in my parts, so we'll look for that. I think it's water in there. And I think my valve for the float is stuck. Can blow through it. Might have been something I got out of it. I didn't see anything coming out, but it looked like it was originally stuck. Had moisture in it, so maybe all this time it actually was frozen. We'll just see what we can do with it here. Because it was below zero when I was trying to start it. Actually functioning. It wasn't before. So we'll just put it back together and try it out, see if we get gas to it. All right, back together. Let's try her out. See if we get some gas down into the bowl. Then we'll move on to the spark issue. So I got to take this off another time, and then we'll see what we got for spark. We'll take it into the workbench in the kitchen. Go over the points again and whatever we have to do. Again, they could make this a little bit more roomy, but I don't know why they got to be so compact. They had lots of room or they could have expanded a little bit. Anyway, we have to deal with it. Managed to get it off. Thank goodness there's only 2 bolts holding it. Or 2 nuts, I should say. Okay, we'll take this bung out. I brought this mag into the house and I did a test run on it with my cordless drill. I just spun it around with the wire in one of the spark plug holes. And there is a spark on both of them, but it's very, very, very weak. So I got the cap off it, and I went in here and I noticed that there is a pin off the cap, or a post right here, and I already buffed it off so it's shiny. I don't know if you can get a focused in picture there, but I shined off the pin and it's going to come in contact with that spring tab down there, and it's a brass tab. So I just took some emery cloth and worked it, this ordinary emery cloth, and I just worked it with my finger across to take the tarnish off of that tab there. And I think we got it cleaned off pretty good. It's pretty shiny compared to what it was, same as the post, so maybe that'll increase our spark. I don't know, but now I'm going to go forward and check our points for gap and maybe polish them a little bit more. And I can just feel with a little resistance that that's 15 thousandths. So from that point on, I'm just going to get my little point file. I don't know which is better, using the emery or the point file, but I kind of think the point file would be better. Okay, I'm just going to get a business card, maybe run through there and pull the debris off. Okay, we'll put it back together and then spin her over again and see if we got any improvement. Well, I got it back together and I spun it with my my drill here. With my spark plug wire in, I could barely get a spark. There's a little bit of a spark. That's exactly what I started out with, just a very little spark. And with a regular gap of a spark plug, it's not going to jump that gap. It is all like the width of a cigarette paper. So I dug out my Eisman, and this has got a, I tested it as well, just the same way, put the drill on it, spun it with the wire, and it's got a 2 to 3 millimeter spark, nice strong spark on the old Eisman. This has been rebuilt by a professional guy in Vernon a few years back, 3 years ago, at least 3 years ago, and I don't know, it was working up until now. It's still actually working, but it's just such a weak spark. So I'm just going to go ahead and put my Eisman in place. I got my white mark on my gear where the M is stamped in so I can see it clearly. So let's go on outside and put this one in place. Hopefully we'll be moving forward. We'll try out our overhead shot. That's the best I can do for a drone footage. Okay, we'll just see if we can wrestle this mag into place. Okay, that looks like to me that it's in place, so we'll just go ahead and bolt that down. May the luck be with us. Okay, I think we got everything all bolted together. We will give her a try. Hopefully we got the thing timed to the right cylinder and things are going to fire off on us. Let's try her. Okay, we're going to try dusting off that old cat, see what happens there. Okay, that's I think clear enough. We can continue on this thing, try to get it to start. Got a few things to do ahead of time, like repair some spark plug wires. I think that's a problem I have. I'm going to replace the spark plug wires that's on here and just see if I can get it to spark through the plug. So we'll get that rigged up and be right back. Well, here it is, February 29th of 24, and I spent all day avoiding being outside because this is what it looks like. It's just been raining and snowing. Really not too interested in working on the old cat. Good morning. Welcome back to the channel. This is March 4th of 2024, and it is still winter outside. It's not snowing now, but it's been snowing off and on. Got more accumulation overnight. I'll have to clean off the project out there. But anyway, in the meanwhile, I've been struggling with all these problems just trying to get this cat started. Started out with the, had to clean out the fuel system. Even though it was running perfect there a year ago. It had fuel line plug plus ice buildup in the carburetor. Had to bring it in, just clean it all out. And then advanced onto that to the magneto. I couldn't get any spark. Changed, put some new wirings in, bought new plugs, cleaned the points off on the mag. Finally, between putting in a mag or the Weco and the Heisman, ended up putting back the Weco into the machine, and then was really frustrated over the timing hole of these D2, D4 pony motors, and ended up developing a little bit of a process that's better for me anyway. I just made timing marks on the flywheel, so I know when that flywheel is in that position, I can tuck the mag in and it'll mate up with the white mark on the gear. So one thing after another has been frustrating, and I did eventually get this machine started, believe it or not. And because the governor was bound up a little bit when I engaged the diesel, well, it powered out and died. So there I was. Now I got the pinion engaged to the diesel. It's still cold. I did have oil pressure built up on the diesel, but it's still cold, and I couldn't get the pony motor to fire off because I couldn't get the pinion disengaged without taking the floor plate off to activate the dogs in the pinion. So I tried to start it just with it still engaged. There was so much drag on there that it made the starter work a little bit too hard, and ultimately it never blew up, but it failed. And here's what I got this morning. This is not supposed to go back and forth like that. It's supposed to be riding up right there, and then as it spins, this is supposed to walk up, and it's supposed to work like that. So I'm gonna have to tear this apart. Because it was operating kind of wonky, it was binding up on the starter mechanism, overheating, growling, and taking too much power. Everything got hot, so I'm gonna have to fix that. I got another one, but I'm gonna try to fix this original motor first, see if I got parts to put in there. After I got that starter rebuilt, I put it into the cat and managed to get the pony motor started finally. It actually started pretty easy with that pinion engaged, so I just went forward and engaged the clutch for that pinion drive and just started spinning the diesel over. I did pulled my temporary oil pressure gauge off, and so again the main oil pressure gauge is not registering, but the fuel pressure is registering, which is good. So I flipped it over to run position and let her warm up a little bit, gave her some fuel and a little snort of ether, and well, surprise, surprise, it's running, but a little rough. It's missing on one cylinder, kind of popping, but we're going to give it a little exercise here and see what happens.
running, and time for a run, I think.